Hey guys, it's David the mechanic. Today I'm doing a thermostat replacement on a 2004 Honda Civic. I have the thermostat gasket that we're going to need right here, and I have the thermostat. You can see what it looks like here. If you want to match it up to what you have and see if it looks the same. On this car, thermostat isn't really that hard to find. It's right in the front on the left side of the engine, right next to the transmission up top. And you can see where this bottom hose is coming right up into this pipe here that leads into this housing. You got one bolt here, and you have another over here. And it's as simple as that. You take those two bolts out, that housing comes off. You remove the thermostat and the gasket, replace it with the new gasket and thermostat, and that's pretty much the steps to changing the thermostat itself. But of course, we need to drain the coolant before we start. So we'll start there. All right, we're underneath the car, and where we are now, we're on the bottom of the transmission, and you can see if I can get something to point at it. Okay, here we go. And you can see this little drain pipe right here. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this counterclockwise. We're going to get a pan to sit underneath to catch it, and once we turn this counterclockwise and screw it and back it all the way out, it should just drain off from right here. So then you let it sit for a little while until it's all done draining, and then we'll close it back up. So see if I can get it. The easiest way I find to get these out, because it's real hard to get it out by hand. Just get some pliers and strip it sideways. It goes up and down. Grip it and turn counterclockwise. You heard it breaks, and then you can finish getting it out by hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my drain pan. I'm gonna go ahead and finish draining this all the way out, and then we'll continue changing off thermostat. All right, now we're back up top. As you can see, that's draining down there. So while that's draining, I have two things that I need to do. I need to remove this plug right here, which is simple. Just press that clip in right there and then pull off. Then we're going to remove this hose. Really, you don't have to remove the hose or that to change it, but it's easy to remove, and it'll make it easier for me, at least, to do the job and make sure it's done right. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those two. So just remove this right here. You're just going to need some pliers or something just to squeeze that, pull it back, and remove that hose, and then we'll go from there. All right, I got the hose clamp off, but it's on there real tight, so I just wanted to show you how I was going to go ahead and get the hose off of that nipple. I have my pliers here, so I adjusted it about the diameter of that hose clamp, with that hose, and basically I'll get a nice grip on it, and I'll turn it to the left and to the right until it loosens up, and you can see right there it's a little loose. So now I should be able to use my hand and pull it down. Just like that. Let's see if I can get this off with one hand. I might need two hands to get this off. There it goes. So I have the connection off, I have the hose off. Now I can go ahead and remove this 10mm bolt here and this little 10mm bolt there, and that would take off this thermostat housing. Just like that, the housing is off. So I finished getting this bolt out, and that's it. This is the thermostat housing, and there's your coolant temperature sensor. Looks to be in good shape. We'll set that to the side, and we'll go ahead and pull out our gasket. So we got the gasket out, and let's see how deep I have to reach into the thermostat. Let's see. All right. It seems it didn't have a thermostat in it, so whoever did this last pretty much took the thermostat out. Maybe it was having overheating problems and they took it out to bypass something. There you go. All right, but that's the only thing that really makes sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the thermostat back in it and fill it with coolant, and hopefully it doesn't overheat, and we'll go from there. But right now I'm gonna work on getting it clean. So I'm gonna clean the gasket and surfaces. I'm gonna try to dig off all the sediments that's built up on there, and then come back with a rag and wipe it off. Same thing on the back side of this housing. I'm gonna get a razor and some brake cleaner and try to get all of this off and get it back nice and shiny. All right, I got it all cleaned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the gasket back on the thermostat. All right, well first, I'm gonna show you the orientation. Thermostat goes in like this. You have the plate right here in my hand, and on the other side of the plate, you want the long side inside of the thermostat housing. First, we're gonna have to get the gasket on there. So on the back side of this plate, the short side I should say, there's a flat side of the gasket, and then there's a side that has nipples. You want the flat side of the gasket on the same side as the short side, so it should be going on like that. Once you have it on, it should look something like that. Then we're gonna go ahead and just place it. Make sure it's nice and snug. Probably should have reminded you about this. The two nipples on there, the grooves. There's two grooves up on top here and here that it has to match up with. So make sure to account for that. All right, I have it in. It's nice and flush all around, 360. I have the two grooves facing upwards, and it's sitting perfectly in those two slots. So now I can go ahead with my housing and place it back on. and go back with my 10mm bolts. Alright, I have the bolts back in and snug. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my hoses back on. So I got that back on. I can use my pliers. It's not a bad angle. It's hard doing this with one hand. Alright, there we go. Get the grip that I need. I'm just gonna go ahead and use 2 hands. Alright, got it back on. So now I can easily just get that back, snap that back on like that. And I also took this hose off earlier, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on. This should be easier to grip. And now that it's all back together, that's pretty much the end of the thermostat job. So I'm going to close the drain at the bottom that I use to drain the coolant, and I'm going to fill the coolant from the top of this radiator, which I also noticed is kind of corroded around here. So if it doesn't seal, then I'm going to check there to make sure that's a tight seal. But that's it for the thermostat and gasket job on a 2004 Honda Civic.